Good morning, students and Saira. Hope you all are doing well. So, let us start with our today's class. In today's class, we are going to start with a new chapter of Moment, that is, chapter number 6, Weathering the Storm in Irsama by Hirsch Mender. Before starting with the explanation, let us read a few points about our author Hirsch Mender. Hirsch Mender, born 17th April 1955, and he is still alive, is an Indian author, columnist. Columnist is a person who writes in newspaper. He gives his own column articles. He is a researcher, teacher, and a social activist. He worked with survivors of mass violence and hunger, as well as homeless person and street children. So we can say that he is a social worker. He is the director of the Center for Equity Studies, a research organization based in New Delhi. So we know that he was a researcher and he is the director of Center for Equity Studies. He also served as a special commissioner to the Supreme Court of India in the Right to Food campaign and was a member of National Advisory Council of the Government of India. So this was all about Hirsch Mender. Let us start with the introduction of this chapter. This story gives an account of the storm that hit the coastal town of Irsama in Odisha state in the year 1999. A young boy, Prashant, faced the fury of the storm and reached his village. The details of how he worked hard to help the villagers overcome the devastation caused by the storm inspire us to have courage and positive approach towards life. So this chapter is all about a storm and the problem faced by the people of the village of Irsama. Here an hero overcomes, and he is no one else than Prashant, a boy. Just a boy who really worked as a hero for all other villages. So let us read the chapter, but before that, certain difficult words for you. The first word is menacing, which means dangerous and harmful. Second word is fury, that means extreme strength. Third word is incent, that means continuous. Fourth word, refuse, refuge. Refuge means shelter. Next word is bloated. Bloated means swollen. Huddled. Huddled means together in a group. Next word is bereaved. Bereaved to means to have lost a family member or friend to death. Next word is recede. Recede means to reduce. Next word is waded. Waded means swim. And the last word is macabre. Macabre means horrible. So these were the difficult words. Now let us start with the explanation of this chapter. The story starts when we are told that Prashant was a boy who was a native of the village in the coastal state of Odisha. That means he was living in a village of Odisha, and on 27th October 1999 he decided to visit his friend in the village Irsama, which is a small town in Odisha and a block headquarter in Jagatpur district. His village was very far away from the village named as Irsama, where his friend lived. It is 18 kilometers away. That means the village in which Prashant lived was 18 kilometers away from Irsama. And here we are told that Prashant decided to come out of his village after 7 years of his mother's death that after his mother died, he never went out of his village, he never visited anyone. He was in his village only. But now, after 7 years, today he has decided on the date 27th October that I want to visit my friend in the village named Irsama, which is 18 kilometers away from his own village. That day, a strong storm gathered in the evening. That means in the evening, a very strong storm was there. Furious wind accompanied by continuous rain lashed the place. Here, the author is telling us that with the storm, the rain was also there. And because of that, everything was scattered. Everything got scattered. The trees fell down, the people's house were falling down, everything was lashed out with that rain. Screams could be heard as trees got uprooted and destroyed the house as they fell on them. So people, here the author is telling us that we can easily hear the screams, that the people were screaming so loud because the tree were falling on their house, and the trees which are falling on their house, they are destroying their houses, and even they are falling on them also. The water flowed with gush and swept away houses that came in its way. Here in the next line we are told that the water were flowing so hard that even the houses which are coming in its way, he is taking away that houses. All the houses were scattered, they were blown up because of this storm and rain. There was a neck deep water in his friend's house. Neck deep water means till here, till neck. The water has come into their house, and now what to do? He have to leave for his village, but he cannot go now because it was raining so hard. As his house was a pakka house, it was able to resist the strong wind which blew at a speed of 350 km per hour. So here Prashant is telling that though it was raining very hard, but my friend was living in a pakka house and it was able to take that harsh blow of the rain and air on it. The speed he has mentioned of the wind is 350 kilometers per hour. That is very high. His friend family was terrorized. Now he is saying that now we are informed that they all were afraid of this situation because most of the house have gone away. They have flown away with the water flow. Now we are just being saved because we are living in a pakka house. Now what to do? They all were very terrorized. That means they were very feared of that situation. They are afraid of that situation. And in the middle of the night, the tree fall on their house also. When the tree fall on the house, it damaged the roof and the walls of the house. So even the pakka house in which his friend was living was destroyed, was damaged by the tree which fall on that house. It damaged the roof of the house and it damaged the wall of the house. The storm continued for next 1.5 days, although the wind had slowed down. So here in the second passage we come to know that storm was going on for 1.5 days, but the wind has slowed down. To escape the rising level of water, Prashant, along with his friend and his family, took shelter on the roof of the house. As the day dawned, Prashant saw the destruction caused by the super cyclone. Now, what happened that when they saw the water level was rising up, Prashant and his friend's family decided to move on the roof of the house, and they have taken the shelter on the roof because they have no other choice. They just have to stay there. The rain was continuous and they were just feeling that they were in extreme cold because they were continuously drenching in the water. Now what happened when the day was when the sun was setting down, Prashant saw the destruction because they were on the roof of the house, and he saw that there was a lot of destruction caused by this super cyclone. As far as Prashant could see, he saw a cover of muddy brown water. Means the area till he could see properly, he could only see the muddy water. Why the water is muddy? Because it has carried away soil, it has carried away the houses, the trees. That's why it became brown in color. Muddy brown water. There were the remains of shattered house surrounded by water. Now here the situation is described, the scene is being described by the author. He is telling that Prashant could see the destruction caused by the rain, the cyclone, and he could see, as far as he could see, he could only see the brown water everywhere the flood was there. He could see the remained, that means the certain parts of the houses of different peoples were flowing in the water. The house which are shattered, which are blown away because of that cyclone, he could see them only in the water. Sorry. Dead bodies of animal and human being floated in the water. Now what next he saw? He saw that dead bodies of animal and human beings were there in the water. Huge tree had fallen and were floating around. So all the trees which are very huge, they have also fallen and they were also floating in the water. 2 coconut trees had fallen on the roof of their house. Initially, they thought that the trees had damaged the roof and walls of the house, but later they realized that this proved to be beneficial for them. So what happened? The tree which fell on Prashant's friend house was a coconut tree. Though it has damaged the roof and the wall of the building, but later they thought that this is very beneficial for us, because though we are on the roof, we cannot go downstairs and to have something, we are hungry. What they had coconut. They had coconut because they are very hungry. So this proved very beneficial, this gives profit to the people only, because so as it is said that whatever happens for good. So here Prashant is also saying that whatever happened, what happened? The coconut tree had fallen on the roof of the house. It happened for good, because due to that we were able to have something, because we are very hungry. For 2 days they were on the roof and they didn't have anything other than coconut, and because that coconut tree fall on their house, they were able to eat something. So it's proof that whatever happens for good. As they were trapped in the house, they ate the raw coconut from these trees and saved themselves from dying due to starvation. As I've told you that because they were not able to move downstairs, they saved their life. They saved their life by having coconuts, raw coconuts which were there on the tree. They spent the next 2 days on the rooftop. So they were continuously there on the roof for the 2 days. Everyone was so scared that they sat together in a group. They were all afraid of this super cyclone, and they all sat together in a group so that they can feel safe. It was very cold and the continuous rain washed away Prashant's tear. He says that it was continuously raining for 2 days, and even now Prashant's tears were also. Why he was crying? He was crying because he thought that he was not able to meet. He will never be able to meet his parents again. His father, his grandmother, all the family members. He will never meet them again. He was worried about his family member. So he was worried about his family members, because as I've told you, he was worried that will he able to meet his family again or not, because of such a heavy destruction caused by the rain and the super cyclone. Maybe he could have lost another family member and would be in grief over the loss of a loved one once again. So here it might happen that the author is telling, might it happen that again he will lose one member of his family. Might it happen? It is not sure that anyone has died in his family or not, but might it happen because it was a super cyclone and flood is there everywhere. So he will again lose someone who is very near to him, and again he will go in depression because of that. This thought worried Prashant. So now the thought of his family members, are they whether they are safe or not, it is worrying Prashant a lot. The rain stopped after 2 days. It seemed to Prashant that the 2 days time was as long as the duration of 2 years. This shows that it was very difficult for him to pass the time, as the worry about his family well-being worried him. So now the 2 days for him worked as 2 years, because he was so reckless during this time that he just want to see his family members, because he don't want to lose anyone else now after losing his mother, who is very close to him. So he don't want to lose anyone, and he was just dying out of worrying about his family. Are they fine? What are they? Where they must be? Was our home fine or not? So everything was going in his mind about his family and his family well-being. Now the rain had stopped and the water started to reduce, in the which was flowing in the village. Although it was dangerous to go out, but he did not waste any more time and left to find his family members. His friend's family requested Prashant to stay back, but he left. Now the friend's family said that it is not safe to go out right now. You should stay few days more, and after that you can move. But he didn't listen to anyone, and he moved from there because he was very worried about his own family members. With the help of a long stick, Prashant started the 18-kilometer long journey back home. So he took the help of a long stick. Why? Because to locate the road properly, because he was unable to see the road, he was unable to locate the road, as they all were filled with the flood water. So what he did, he took a long stick with him, so that he could locate what is coming in his way, to make himself safe from all such disaster. So Prashant started to move, and now he started to cover his 18-kilometer journey. As he passed through the flood water, the journey got inscribed in his mind forever. Now, because he was crossing that flood water, everything was just getting saved in his mind, because this is a terrible moment for him, and such a situation he is facing alone right now. There is no one with him. So these are just getting saved in his mind forever, because he will never forget such a huge disaster happened in his village. He had to use the stick to guide him and find the path where the water was shallower. So why he was using the stick, as I have told you, he was using the stick to find where the water is less, so that he can move there, to find whether there is no holes in the road, and he is safely moving on the road only. So he used that stick to guide himself. At some place the water was waist deep and his pace slowed down. Waist deep means that he was not able to move till his stomach, it was coming, and his pace became slow at that time, because he was unable to cross that water. At some places he lost a track of the road and had to swim to save himself from drowning. So what happened, as I've told you, that he took the stick with him to guide himself whether he was walking on road or in the river. So whenever he was not able to find the road, with the help of the stick, what he did, he swam there, because he was not sure what is there. It might be something which can make him drown there. So to save himself, he started swimming at that place where he didn't find the road. After some time he was relieved, as he got the company of two friends who along with their uncle were returning to their village. All of them proceeded together. So after moving for few kilometers, he met his friends who were going to their village with their uncle. So they all started to move again to the village. As the group proceeded, they got to see horrible scenes. They had to push dead bodies of human beings and animals which were being swept around with the current of water. As they crossed villages, not even a single house was seen. As Prashant's fear grew, he wept loudly. He was sure that his family member would not have survived the disaster. So, when they were moving, what they saw while moving on the road, they saw that dead bodies were there of human and of animal. He saw that the villages which were full of houses, now there is no houses in those villages. So now he was worrying more and more. That surety he's getting in his mind that now it can happen that my house members or my family members are not saved. They are no more, because he couldn't see anyone. He only can see the dead bodies, the shattered of the house which have blown away with the wind. He could see only that only. So now he was sure that now my family members are no more. So he started crying very loudly, because he was sure that he would not be able to see his family members. They are not they are sorry they were not able to survive the disaster caused by the super cyclone and the flood. When Prashant reached the village, the name of his village is Kalikuda. He went there and he became numb. Numb means he was silent. He was not able to move. Numb means that he was not moving. He was just very silent, because he could only see the remains of the house. Remains means parts of the house which were flowing in the water. Their belongings were scattered in the water, and something hung on the branch of the tree just above the flood water. He decided to look for his family at the shelter set up by the Red Cross Society. So what happened that when he reached his village Kalikuda, he could only see what? He could only see the dead bodies, the remaining of the house, of his own house also. And that's why he became numb. He became paralyzed, because he couldn't see his house, his peoples. He became, or he was very sure now that it might happen. I have lost all my family members, but still he decided that I will go to the Red Cross Society, where shelters are made for the victims. At the Red Cross shelter, he saw his maternal grandmother. Maternal grandmother means nani. So there at the Red Cross shelter, who he saw his maternal grandmother. She appeared very weak, but was very happy. Glad means happy to see that Prashant was alive. Even the family member thought that Prashant was not alive, because they were far away from each other. So both the side they were not sure whether Prashant is alive or not. Even Prashant was not sure whether his family members are alive or not. So both are not in surety of their family members. But when the maternal grandmother saw Prashant, she was very happy. Though she was looking weak, because she might didn't have anything. She might be very hungry from so many days, but she was very happy to see Prashant alive. And she rushed to him with her arms open and her eyes full of tears. So she ran, opening her arms, and she was crying, because she was very happy to see that his grandson is fine, he is alive. It was a miracle for her, as the family had thought that Prashant would not have survived the storm. So family was also not sure whether he is alive or not. Even they have thought that Prashant is dead. But when they saw him back in the village, they all were very happy. They all hugged him tightly. As Prashant extended family came to know that he had come, they gathered around him and hugged him in relief. Prashant saw that everyone was worried and injured. He met his sibling, uncles and aunts. So everybody who was living in that village, his own family members, his uncles, his aunt, his cousin, his own sibling, his father, all came after listening to the news that Prashant is back in the village. They all came there and they all hugged him tightly, because they all are in relief now that he is fine. The next morning, Prashant realized that he had to get over his emotion and take the charge of the situation. Now Prashant is a young boy. He decided that I should not cry, I should not feel worried about anything now. I should keep aside my emotions, and now I should take the charge of the situation. Now I should be a volunteer to handle all this situation. So what he did, he gathered the crowd of 2500 people, sorry, the huge crowd of around 2500 people in the shelter was full of sadness. Why they all were sad? The people of the villages are very sad because they have lost everything in the village. Sorry, everything in the storm. 86 people had been killed by the super cyclone of Kalikuda village. They had been at the shelter for last 4 days. So he's now describing the scene of the shelter, that peoples were 2500 people were there in the shelter. All were looking sad. Why? Because they have lost everything what they had. Even 86 people were killed in the village because of the super cyclone, and they were there in the shelter for last 4 days. They are just eating the raw coconuts. They have nothing to eat. But now these were insufficient for the large number of people. Now even the coconuts are getting vanished because they are insufficient. They are not so much. There are not so much coconuts available in the village or on the trees that they could serve 2500 peoples 3 times. So they all were worried that what we will do after the coconuts will finish. We will die due to hunger. Now Prashant was he was a boy of a very young age, of 19 year only. Now he decided to lead the crowd of distraught villagers. He formed a group of villagers, including the elders and the youth. So all, even the uncles and his cousins, or the people who were of his own age, were there in the group. People who were above his age was also there in group. Everyone was there in the group. What they did, they decided and they planned to force the local merchant to give them stock of grain and rice to feed the people. So now they went to the house of the local merchant and they forced the local merchant that you should provide us the stock of grains and rice so that we could have something to eat. And even the group succeeded in that, and they swam through the flood to get food from the for the crowd. So they even swam because the flood was still there in the village. So they swim to the house of the local village. From there they bought the food, the stack of the grain and the rice to feed the peoples who were there in the shelter. No one was bothered by the fact that the rice was getting rotten because they were starved and were ready to eat even the rotting rice. Now because even the local merchant have given the rice, but the rice which he has given were rotten. They are getting they are not good to eat. But still they didn't worried about what to eat and what not to eat. They decided that whatever we are having, we will eat that only, because we will die out of hunger if we will not have this. So whatever they got, they cooked it and they eat that. The branches of broken trees were used to kindle a fire. So the branches that were broken and the branches which are dry, they all were used to fire or to cook the food on the fire. As they were wet, burning a fire was a arduous task. So because flood was there, rain was going on there, so it was very difficult for them to fire the branches because they were wet. They were wet and they were a difficult task for them to burn that sticks. Now it was a slow fire. Slow fire, why? Because the sticks were wet due to rain. But still they managed to cook the rice on it. The survivors ate a meal after 4 days. So after 4 days, because in those 4 days they were only having that raw coconut only. After 4 days, when Prashant took the charge, now the villagers were able to eat the meal properly. The second task did by the group was that they started to cleaning the area in which they are living. They started to remove the garbage, clean the excretory wastes, dead bodies, and tended the injured. So what they did, they started to clean their area in which they are living, the shelter, Red Cross shelter. They started to clean that area. They removed the dead bodies, the garbage, the excretory waste, and they started to give treatment to the people who are injured. On the fifth day, after the super cyclone, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped food parcel. It did not return later, but they needed food. Now what happened on the fifth day? Helicopters were there and they were throwing the stack of the food parcel there. It dropped the food parcel one time only, but it didn't return after that. Now what to do now, because the people need the food to eat. So the youth in the crowd gathered empty utensils. So everyone, the youth, the small children gathered the empty utensils, and the children lie on the sand with the utensils on their stomach to indicate to the passing helicopter that they needed food. So the small children lie on the sand and they kept that empty utensil on their stomach so that the helicopter could see that we are here, we are hungry, we are lying here, and so they could drop that parcel to us. The helicopter got the message and returned with food and other necessities for the crowd at the shelter. So now the third task did by the village people, they also get success in that they try to give message to the helicopter that we are hungry here by the small children lying on the sand and they were having empty utensil on their stomach. So they were successful in doing so. Even the helicopter got the message and he returned back to the village with lot of food stuff and the necessities material which the people of the shelter need. Now a large number of children had been orphaned. It happened that whenever a disaster come, many families become orphan and many children become orphan because they lose their family members. Prashant put them together under a polythene sheet. So what he did, Prashant made a shelter for these all orphan children and he made them stay there. And the women in the shelter were deployed to look after the children and the men arranged food for everyone. So now what Prashant did, Prashant said that the children who are orphan, whose parents are not there, every woman will look after them and all the men will go out in search of food for the children. The sadness of the children and women in the shelter was growing with each passing day. So everyone was very sad because they have lost their family member, and this sadness was growing more and more by the passing days. Now the Prashant requested for to the NGO to work for this people who have lost their family members, and the NGO named was Food for Work. In order to keep the children busy, he organized sport event for them. So what Prashant did, Prashant, to make the children happy, what he did, he arranged the sports. He arranged cricket and more other sports for the children to play there. He took help of other volunteers to help the widow and orphan to return to normal life. So now it was the duty of Prashant to help those women who are widow now, who have lost their family member, their husband, and the children who are orphan now, to make them happy. So what he did, he tried to make them busy in some other works. The government has proposed to set up separate institution for widow and orphan, but this proposal was successfully rejected by Prashant. He felt that these separate institutions would neither help the orphan children nor would they be beneficial for the widows. These volunteers wanted to settle the orphan children and widow in foster families where they could get love and secure. Now, as he asked for the help from the NGOs to help these, Prashant started to engage the children while playing different games. Women to cook something for he gave the duty to the women who are widow to cook food for the villagers. But they got a proposal from the government that we are ready to give separate institution to the orphan children and to the widow women. But Prashant neglected that proposal and he said no, we don't want to do this, because he know that what they will do, they will not help those children and these widow. They will not give separate institution. What they will do, they will send these children to the families where children are not there. They will give the family to the children, and widow women, they will make them marry second time. So I don't want this. So he directly neglected the proposal given by the government to the people of the village. After 6 months of the disaster, Prashant has came out of the grief of losing his mother because he was engrossed in helping others that he forgot his pain. All the widow and orphan looked up to him in their time of grief, and so he learned to come out of his gloom and smile. So what happened after 6 months? Everything was fine. He made a home in his own village where these widow and orphan lived together, and they were happy because now they get their own environment of the village. These widow and orphan are happy because they are in their own village. They feel very safe. Even Prashant was he is starting to lose that grief. He was not now very sad that he has lost his mother 7 years ago. He was happy because now he was very much busy in helping other people, and even the widows and orphans see a hero in Prashant. And now he has started to gloom, to shine bright, to smile for everyone there in the village, because he has emerged as a hero for everyone in the village. So this was the story of Weathering the Storm in Irsama by Harsh Mender. A long story, but I hope I have helped you to understand the story in an easy way. So this was all for today. Thank you, students.